Hello, everyone. Welcome to the News Browse News broadcast. Global news reports that Albertans will head to the polls this fall, specifically on October 19th, to vote on a referendum question about whether the provincial government should initiate the legal process for a future binding referendum on separating from Canada. Premier Danielle Smith announced this during a paid televised address, presenting it as a workaround after a Court of King's Bench judge recently quashed a direct separatist petition, citing the need for First Nations consultation. Smith stated that, while her United Conservative Party's position, and her own, is to keep Alberta within a united Canada, she believes it's crucial to address the strong sentiments on both sides of the issue. She called for patience from separatists and emphasized the importance of provincial rights and minimal federal interference for a stronger Canada. The announcement follows political drama in the legislature regarding the handling of petitions, with Smith pledging to appeal the court's ruling. The Canadian press reports that British Columbia Premier David Eby has expressed his satisfaction, calling it very good news, that the Supreme Court of Canada will hear the province's appeal in a landmark mineral rights claim case. Eby emphasized the BC government's need for clarity regarding the implications of a previous ruling. In December, the BC Court of Appeal determined that the Provincial Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples Act, DRIPA, should be interpreted to incorporate the UN Declaration with immediate legal effect. This decision posed concerns for the province, which feared economic uncertainty and the courts potentially overstepping the role of elected representatives. However, Jessica Clogg, a lawyer representing the Gitxaala Nation, one of two Indigenous nations challenging the law, stated that her nation would have preferred the province respect the lower court's decision. Clogg highlighted that the Supreme Court hearing would clarify whether DRIPA's commitments are legally enforceable or merely political promises. While Eby hinted at the possibility of a negotiated settlement, the Conservative Party critic Scott McInnes believes a quick resolution is unlikely due to the absence of a hearing date. Green Party MLA Rob Botterill criticized the government for appealing rather than aligning provincial laws with DRIPA from the outset. Global news reports that Nanaimo RCMP is urging the public to be cautious around water after two unrelated drowning incidents occurred on May 20. The first call came just before 6 p.m. concerning an adult woman at Departure Bay Beach. Search and rescue teams, including Nanaimo Search and Rescue and the 442 Rescue Squadron, responded, locating the woman deceased around 9 p.m. Foul play is not suspected in this case. While the search for the woman was ongoing, police received another report at approximately 7:30 p.m. of an adult man in distress while swimming near the 1200 block of Stewart Avenue. Despite immediate life-saving efforts by first responders, including Nanaimo Fire Rescue and BCEHS, the man could not be resuscitated and was pronounced deceased at the scene. Early indications suggest no foul play, and the circumstances are being investigated by the BC Coroner's Service. RCMP CPL Gary O'Brien emphasized the emotional impact such events can have on witnesses and encouraged anyone struggling to seek support from Nanaimo RCMP Victim Services. Global news reports that Alyssa McGillivray, a serial fraudster also known as Catherine McDougall, has been sentenced to 4.5 years in prison in Nova Scotia. She pleaded guilty to 19 charges of fraud, forgery, and impersonation, stemming from nearly 50 initial charges. Justice James Chipman noted her high moral culpability, stating she provided unreliable information during the sentencing phase, including falsely claiming Indigenous heritage and Dalhousie University degrees. Her offenses included obtaining paid bereavement leave from multiple employers like Southland Transportation and Kent Building Supplies, by fabricating stories of deceased family members, such as a 3-year-old daughter killed by a drunk driver, She also defrauded the Department of Community Services of nearly $20,000. Crown Attorney William Mathers described the case as extremely severe, stating he had never seen anything comparable. According to CTV News, residents of Old Fort, BC, are now permitted to return to their homes following a significant landslide last month. The Peace River Regional District officially lifted the evacuation order on Thursday, allowing both residents and essential service providers back into the community. The landslide, which measured 400 meters wide on Old Fort Road, had previously cut off the sole access route for the approximately 150 residents and triggered evacuation orders or alerts for several properties. A temporary 2-lane road has been completed to restore access, though public use will be restricted to 1 lane until at least Monday. As a precautionary measure, an evacuation alert remains in effect for properties east of, but not including 7711 Old Fort Road, pending the construction of a permanent road. Old Fort has experienced similar landslide threats over the past decade, including a notable incident in 2018 that also necessitated. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.